Pickaxe.
Everybody, and welcome back to the Review of Death, a Doctor Who podcast and your fortnightly home for Doctor Who news and reviews. I'm Matthew Toffolo, and I'm joined, as always, by Billy Garratt-John. How are you, my dear friend?
I'm very well, thank you, mate. It's cold, and I feel like I always default to the weather when I'm saying how I'm doing.
Always cold, and it's always cold. And at the moment, it's always
cold.
hot over here. It's been quite warm again lately, and it's going to get hotter, so that's fun.
Well, that's what you get for being closer to the sun, I suppose.
Yeah.
But it's atmospheric out there. It's given me Silent Hill energy. It's very misty, and the drives home have been exciting. There's lots of kind of mist rolling across the motorway, you know.
Like monsters shambling out onto the road.
Shambling out. That would be great. I mean, it is South Auckland. Yeah. But I'm doing really well, thank you, mate. And very excited to talk about New Earth today.
Yes. Yeah.
Usually we have a nice big fat news segment at the top of the show, but sweet F all has been going on.
Yes. Yeah,
the only thing I was thinking, besides the two vague bullet points I've got, as the DWM with Warris and Big Finish writer and Russell talking about the future of the show, has that come out yet?
I think that was this month's, but I didn't get Doctor Who magazine anymore, so I wouldn't know. No good talking to me about it. You expect me on a Doctor Who podcast to know what's going on in Doctor Who world?
No, that was my fault. That was my fault. Sorry. Well, on that, Matt, how much have you been enjoying Circuit Breaker?
What? All I know about that is that she's got a nice screwdriver, not a euphemism, and have you seen a new TARDIS key?
No.
It was, she did a signing, Jo Martin did a signing at Forbidden Planet over the weekend, this weekend? Or recently. And they had bits of her outfit there. So they had her new hat, they had the Sonic. Why did you laugh at that?
I don't know. I think it's just, look where we are.
She's got
a new hat. She's got a new key.
It's the Waylon Smithers thing, isn't it? The Malibu Stacy doll thing. But she's got a new hat. I want it. Yeah.
But that's you.
Yeah. I'm mocking myself. What's going on? So she's got a new hat. She's got a little bag. She's got a nice little satchel thing now, with Gallifreyan text on it.
Lovely.
For I don't know what it's for. It's to put something in. I don't know.
Is it?
Yeah. as often is the case with satchels.
Right. Okay. I thought it would be a different kind of bag.
But she's a colostomy bag. And she's also got a new TARDIS key, which is really cool because it's the same shape as the Pertwee Baker McGann Ankh key. But it's got Gallifreyan text, like more modern day Doctor Who Gallifreyan text on it. And it's all weathered to look like it's sort of coppery and like green in all the nooks and crannies. It looked really cool. And it was on like a little leather, can you remember when like Rover sold cars and they had, when you got your keys, they had like the little leather keychain? It's like got one of those on it. Slightly annoyed that it's perpetuating that end of time. Oh, it's like a card key sort of thing.
Right.
But the overall look of it was pretty cool. So
great. Well, nice to see that the show is in a really good place at the moment. And
I can see that on all the tabloid newspapers straight away.
Doctor Who's got a new hat.
New key.
And somehow it's woke. And that one avenue that is doing really well in the Doctor Who world is the action figures. So we've got a new 14th Doctor and Mr. Ring-a-Ding action figure, and you were very high on that.
I got Ring-a-Ding here. He's a lot of fun. Shooty Gatwa's still in the box because I've got. Well, I mean, all of the dollies on my desk are going to be all in the box in a minute because they've got to go to their new home. But Ring-a-Ding is very, very fun. He's really bendy. You can do all sorts with him. You can't lick his own gonads. He's not that bendy, but his legs are a bit twisty. What's the point?
That is a big bit of news. You'll be moving soon, so we'll have a new sort of environment for you to
a new set
inhabit.
Yeah. It's going to be full of toys. No more Sea Devil, but it'll be full of dollies.
I've got to up my game. I mean, at the very least, change that Bristol City shirt, which has been up there for about 18 months. I'm going to Japan in October, and I had a little look online, and just to see if I go to Japan, can I pick up I'd really like to find those Japanese Target novelizations with the funky covers.
Yeah.
I won't be able to read them, but at least I'll have them on my shelf.
Yeah.
And I went on a Reddit thread, and people were sort of saying, if I go to Japan, am I likely to find any Doctor Who stuff? And the answer was a resounding no, absolutely not. Not going to happen. But if I want a half naked anime babe, I'm in luck. Which is not something I'm necessarily into, but when in Rome,
why not? Yeah, get a body pillow
on my honeymoon.
Yeah.
Sorry,
Menage a trois with the bedding.
Oh my god! All right, well, let's get off that. I mean, we've got plenty of smut to talk about in this episode, actually. But
yes, that's true. Actually, yeah.
New Earth.
I've got to say, at the end of last episode, when we were we're doing New Earth next, I was a bit like, oh no. But actually, we all watched. Me and Annie started watching this, and Jonathan even came in and sat down and started watching it. And we all really enjoyed it. So
astounded.
Yeah. Well, wonders never cease. But I mean, we all came out of it saying that was really good compared to a lot of the newer stuff. I mean, compare that to Space Babies. And I know it's tonally very similar. It's a bit like wishy-washy silliness, but this was better.
I actually started writing something about comparing it to Space Babies, which I won't say now because it's kind of moot, because I was writing it about halfway through.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people were comparing Space Babies as a season opener to this when it went out.
Yeah.
And I think there are comparisons in that, it's a broad comedy first.
Yes.
Really.
Yeah.
But I was sort of thinking, well, where's the peril? At least in Space Babies, you've got a big, hulking, slimy, roaring monster in the underbelly of the station.
Yeah.
And although they don't necessarily undercut the bogeyman with humour, having said that, obviously he is made of bogies and Millie Gibson gets slimed. But it's not really like that sort of tonal whiplash that you get in this for me so much.
Interesting. All right.
I think because
are you trying to tell me that Space Baby's better than this one?
I'm trying to say that weirdly, I think Space Babies might be a bit more mature than New Earth.
My God.
I just think that
end of the podcast.
I'll say it now because the point is kind of moot because what I wrote doesn't really matter anymore. Because the further I got into it, and obviously you see the plague victims and all of that, that stuff is really scary. I mean, it's a darn sight more frightening than anything that's in Space Babies.
Yeah. Well, those children's mouths moving. That's
also quite frightening. Yeah, I was going to say from a body horror perspective, but yeah, that is also quite frightening. But
unintentionally so.
Unintentionally so. But I think that episode, first and foremost, is about introducing the world of Doctor Who, whereas the kind of the that's been done the year prior, and so it is kind of about the new Doctor.
Yes,
but we'll get into it. The interesting decision to have a body swap episode is David Tennant's first story.
Because this is kind of like his first de facto story as as the established Doctor. Obviously, we've had Christmas Invasion, but here he is fully suited and booted as the Doctor. This is like his first proper go. I found it very interesting, actually, the opening to this one. Like you're sort of saying, how it's kind of like it's not that exciting, is it? It's just like, all right, Mum, I'm going off on my travels. Make sure you pack your new knickers. Yeah, all right, I have. See you.
I'll need plenty of those.
See you in a fortnight. Bye. Where are we off to? Further than we've ever gone before. Ooh-ee-oo. All right. Okay.
I bet you bloody will. You bloody ravers. I think that is sort of symptomatic of where this episode was in the planning stages, because I read that although the season opener was this episode was concocted as the first episode of the new season, its position was apparently considered a few times, and there was a thought that they were going to open with Tooth and Claw.
Oh, okay.
And that this could swap with The Girl in the Fireplace, which was apparently second in the run.
Okay.
And then Jane Tranter eventually decided it was a better choice because it's more lighthearted, which I do understand.
Yeah.
But again, the body swap thing, which we'll get to a bit later on, it's got echoes of decisions in opening Doctor's stories that don't necessarily represent them well from the past. But
yeah.
But I actually really like the cold open, and I also really like the idea, having had Rose join, in a kind of moment of madness at the end of Rose, and then she comes back, and where have you been? And then it kind of ramps up to, oh no, the Doctor's part of this family, and we're all part of this kind of family. That then at the start of New Earth, she's packed and she's ready to go, and she's being waved off. I quite like that little through line.
Oh yeah, that everyone sort of come to terms with her decision to do this, and this is just, well, this is the way it is. She goes off for a bit,
exactly,
comes back to get Jackie to do her laundry, and then she goes off again, like any other student.
And I like that. I like it in the same way I liked, kind of Clara popping in every now and again, but she's got a job at home, and the Doctor picks her up when he's free. I think it's suggested in The Runaway Bride that he's stuck around since the Christmas invasion, so he hasn't actually gone anywhere.
Right.
And he was basically living with the Tylers. I want to know what those sleeping arrangements were. And on that, Mickey Smith soundly cucked before it was, the thing.
Yeah.
And he knows what's going to be going on out there. I mean, the chemistry between Billie Piper and David Tennant is off the charts, man.
Yeah, yeah. She didn't call him David Tennant for nothing.
Exactly. And I've just come back from watching the new Spider-Man, and those two are married, but these two have been,
they're not married.
They're not married.
If you know what I mean.
Yeah. But they've got such a chemistry with each other, and it is a magnetic pull when you watch it. They really fire off each other.
She's in that beginning bit. She is so infatuated with him. That, traveling with you, I love it. Yeah, all right, fucking put your tongue back in your mouth. Come on. It is very much like that. Because with the Ninth Doctor, she obviously loved him, but she didn't love him necessarily quite as much as that.
No, and the way they're playing it, I think, is definitely a young couple in the sort of first throes of a new relationship. And running around with each other and lying on the grass, and the way that they look at each other is just it's a miraculous pairing, really. Those two.
Yes. Yeah.
And if Doctor Who never has another love interest, I think they've done it, and they've done it perfectly.
Yeah, for sure.
And it's not even consummated at that. Well, I mean, not on screen anyway. It's not even consummated at that point. But they are just so wrapped up in each other, and it's really, really lovely to see. Actually, I think it's a really nice dynamic. For a one shot, just to say, like, this is the actual love of Doctor Who's life, and they, I buy it totally.
I think that's why I always find that's probably like another reason why I don't get River Song, because I never really, it just feels false. That doesn't feel like none of the actors have that level of chemistry with Alex Kingston like Tennant does with Billie Piper.
I think it makes sense when you finish her arc and it ends with Husbands of River Song, and you see the Doctor that she's been talking about all this time, her Doctor being 12.
Yeah. And
them, which is a more mature relationship rather than this sort of puppy eyes, lovey-dovey, thing. So I appreciate it from that perspective, but I know what you mean. The idea that River Song is the great love of Doctor Who's life, I don't, compared to this and what's happening on screen, I don't buy it.
He's saying, right, can we do a bit of role play tonight, darling? Put this blonde wig on. Thank you very much. And these fake teeth, if you don't mind.
And this Wonder Bra, if that's all right.
Yeah.
So, first episode of New Who to be set on an alien planet, if you can Adam and Eve it.
God, is it really? That's mental. That's
and
mental.
It's Earth still.
And it's still Earth, yeah. And it looks suspiciously like the Gower in Wells, but never mind.
I love that. A lot of the effects in this have aged relatively well. I mean, there's certainly still that second generation videotape sheen over the CGI stuff, where you can see it's come down a couple of generations when the boils are appearing on people's faces.
Yeah.
But my favourite bit is the wide shots of New Earth and the hospital, and it's this mucky brown sea washing up and down this cold beach, and then this blazing sunshine on the CGI composites over the top. I've never noticed the disparity between the temperature, at least in those two shots, but it was funny.
That is funny. Because I remember seeing it as a kid. I mean, I would have been 13, I guess, when this was airing, or about to turn 14. Yeah, that sounds about right. God, yeah, those shots, looked incredible back then. And they, like you said, they've aged okay. Some are better than others. There's a shot later on where all the cell doors of the patients open up. That looks janky. That looks like PlayStation 2 graphics.
And one of the cat nurses falling down the lift shaft looks pretty janky.
That was so bad that I was like, why did you not just show her falling backwards in the non-CGI shot and just leave it there? Because that told me everything I needed to know. She fell down.
And they hang on that shot for like 3 or 4 seconds as she's falling, and you think you just need a quick shh and then cut it, because the implied terminal velocity that cat is hitting. Why didn't she land on her paws?
Exactly. I know.
What kind of cats are they?
Shit ones.
Yeah, clearly.
Not as good as the cheetah people.
No, well, that's a good comparison. Thank God we did survival last time.
Is this the what's this? The Pussycat arc?
Yeah, it is. Yeah. I was struck when I was watching David walking around the hospital. I mean,
by what?
The Millennium
An object?
I was struck by
like a falling cat nun.
I was hit on the head by a falling cat nun. I was struck by Patrick Troughton rightly gets his flowers as being the first new Doctor, being the guy that took on the mantle and we wouldn't be here without him, kind of thing. But I think David Tennant deserves it just as much, because he was coming in kind of unplanned, given the way that Chris left.
Yeah.
And whether or not the show could sink or swim, I mean, the tabloid press would have had a field day going, Doctor Who's had 1 season and he's already gone. This is going to be a nightmare. This is going to be a 2-season and done deal. This guy isn't going to be able to handle it.
And obviously he wasn't like an esteemed actor in the same way that Eccleston was. And obviously that was a big push for the first series. Like, oh my God, they've got Christopher Eccleston. He's not a Doctor Who actor. He's a proper actor. But obviously Tennant had done stuff, but it wasn't to that level.
But he bounds into this with so much energy and confidence that I think it perfectly marries the confidence and the pomp that Doctor Who has for itself at the time. And, the Eccleston departure could have been a very early nail in the coffin, but almost like the Daleks coming into the equation in the second ever story and kind of ensuring, okay, this is going to stick around. I think David Tennant has the same effect on the show from this point on.
Oh, 100%. He just walks into that part like it's his own, and that he's been doing it forever. I mean, probably because he was doing it in the playground for most of his life. But yeah, he's just watching him the other night. It was like, I don't think, I mean, obviously he's very good, but sometimes I don't feel like I appreciate how good he actually is, because I think there are times where, especially growing up, where everyone bloody loved him. And I was like, what about my doctors? They were the better doctors. But, he is incredibly good. He does it very, very well. He's got some really strong moments in this, whether it's the more dramatic stuff where he's like really friggin' fuming with those cat nuns with what's happened to Rose, or whether it's the more levity stuff, and when he's playing Cassandra, all right, that's a little bit more chewing the scenery, but I think
he mugs quite a bit.
Yeah.
Regardless, I think that bit where he comes out of the lift at the end and starts hugging people.
Oh yeah,
that's a little, and yeah, the
resolution is
sort
poo. Let's just get that. The resolution is poo.
Mm-hmm.
But we know Russell's not great at endings.
No, well, this is let's move on to next week. Basically, is what he says at the end of the script.
Yeah,
yeah. It's sort of like the duality of man, really. Like David Tennant's Doctor for me is either this kind of, I love a little shop, which goes on far too long and becomes a bit of a running gag for some reason, or it's the vengeful god.
Yeah.
And I think the thing I struggle with, not necessarily with his performance, because he always does a great job, but the thing I always struggle with his character is it's either one or the other. It's very rare that you get middle ground. But we'll talk about it. Looking at the trailer for next week's episode, I mean, I want to do Tooth and Claw now. But his performance in the clips I saw from that was like, he was ace. Starry-eyed wonder, but without the sort of toddler undertones.
Yeah. I think Charlie Brooker, he says it, doesn't he, on Screen Wipe, where he's like, he's a bit of a know-it-all, and it gets annoying. And me and my nephews watched Satan Pit the other day, and that's literally the bit where Charlie Brooker's like, he comes out, he's like, oh, it's a sanctuary base, oh, it's this, oh, it's that. It's like, all right, fucking know-it-all. But he is very good. My first note on for this story was TARDIS, peak TARDIS lighting. Yes. Why did they ever get rid of that lovely green lighting?
Does it stay for the rest of this season?
It's here for 2 and 3. No, just for 2, isn't it? After this, it
3's
goes
brighter.
Yeah.
Because 3's got that kind of, you can see the kind of coral yellow on the back walls. It's a bit brighter, isn't it?
It feels more like a studio, I think, when they do that. It's starting to, you're going back into the 80s, what you're doing.
Yeah.
Here it's got so much atmosphere and the mood lighting and the smoke and stuff. David Tennant has got character options, 10th Doctor action figure hair in this story as well. For the most part, there's a few little bits. All the stuff when they're doing the lift shaft stuff later on is all in reshoots, and he's got shorter, spikier hair. I don't know if you noticed that.
I hadn't noticed. No.
Yeah, I mentioned it when we were watching it, and Jonathan was like, how have you noticed that? I was like, that has bothered me since I saw it as a child. I was like, his hair is changing its length. Yeah.
I was thinking in the scenes where he's in the ward talking to the Duke of Manhattan and the face of Beau, his hair's quite long.
Yeah.
And I really like that look. It's almost kind of, if it was shorter at the front, it's a bit mullety at the back. It kind of, it goes down past his collar. I like that. A bit like...
Past his ass.
Past his ass. I liked how... Something to hold on to. I liked how, Matt Smith's hair... Matt Smith's hair, when that was longer and that was kind of mullety.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think it suits him because he's sort of all business in the suit and it's so tight and fitted.
Yeah.
But it's like...
He is really skinny in this one.
Oh, he's frighteningly skinny.
He is very baby-faced as well. It's because it's kind of... He's an odd creature, David Tennant's Doctor, because he's always perpetually Doctor Who because they can never get rid of him. And, I think I'm so used to seeing him more recently in his appearances as the 14th Doctor and, in Day of the Doctor, that then to go all the way back to the beginning when he actually was the Doctor, it's a bit like, God, you look like a little baby doing Doctor Who. What's going on?
It is frightening. But I do like the kind of the really tailored suit and he it's not that kind of shabby suit look. He does kind of look like he works at Carphone Warehouse in certain shots, but then the hair is sort of a mess, and I quite like that. And then obviously with the sneakers as well, that feels like a slight disparity, doesn't it? It's a great costume. It was, it's not quite a Doctor Who
costume, but it's like starting to lean that way. It's like, okay, we've done the antithesis of a doctor's outfit.
Yes.
But we'll just slightly start leaning into that way a little bit without going too mental.
The trench coat is massive on him in this.
Yeah.
They definitely bring it in, don't they? Because it's really, really, really baggy on him. Okay, so they get into the hospital. Doctor and Rose jump in different lifts, and we have the disinfectant scene. Is it me, or does it look like Billie Piper was not expecting water to shoot out of the ceiling? She looks like she genuinely gets a fright out of it.
Yeah, I was gonna ask you if there's any like behind the scenes tidbits of that. I can remember watching Doctor Who Confidential and them shooting those bits.
Yes.
But I can't remember if it was said whether or not she knew. But it does.
Probably couldn't get away with that now.
Yeah, her reaction does seem quite genuine.
Yeah.
Is that initial... Maybe it was just cold. Maybe she was told...
It would have been freezing cold.
Yeah. She was probably told, we're going to spray you with a bit of water. All right.
Yeah. I quite like as well...
At 7 a.m. in the morning on a cold Cardiff day.
Good way, in a Cardiff warehouse. I quite like the way she's kind of feeling on the walls for like the shower button.
Yeah.
We should say off the top, I mean, this is Billie Piper's episode, really. And I think it was written to give her some comedy to do. Yeah. Which she certainly does.
And I guess almost as a way to help the 10th Doctor ease into it, because you've got Billie Piper, Rose, who is a character that everyone now knows and loves. She can sort of lead it a little bit whilst his Doctor sort of bubbles under the surface and starts to grow into the part. Obviously, the thing is, kind of like with Tom Baker and Harry Sullivan, David Tennant doesn't need that. He can just he just can do it straight away. He doesn't need to feel his way through. But yeah, she's very good in it. I mean, all the Cassandra like stuff is so good.
You can do A plot, I'll do B plot.
Yes,
and then we'll meet in the middle. Yeah. So Rose is redirected to the basement where she meets the impish Chip, and she rightly arms herself with a pipe in case he tries anything seedy down there.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, the 10th Doctor's up in the ward. Turns out the face of Beau has asked him to turn up, who's dying of big face disease or something.
Yeah.
Really lovely music from Murray.
Oh, the score is fantastic. The score. I mean, I was getting very nostalgic of getting the series 1 and 2 soundtrack when that first came out and listening to that. Some lovely pieces, but the Face of Beau music is particularly good. It's interesting, like the start of this story, the Doctor and Rose, they're all lovey-dovey, and it all seems like, here we are on a nice little romantic date sort of thing. Probably should have took her here after the Earth blew up last time,
maybe.
But that might have made more sense. It might have helped her, get over the whole thing. But I love the fact that that's all then undercut with, actually, I've not just taken you here to make you fancy me. I've actually taken you here because I've got this note on my psychic paper that says, come and meet me. Even though the Face of Beau never even uttered a word to him throughout the whole of that story, which is quite funny. It always bothers me. I was like, did he even introduce himself to the Face of Beau?
Maybe there was some telepathic flirting across the room, because he gets in your head, doesn't he, Beau? Maybe it was something to do with that.
Yeah.
So he encounters the Duke of Manhattan,
who I thought was the other bloke from Series 5.
Yes.
I thought it was the same man. I was like, was that the same character? But it's not.
Big blue guy.
Yeah, one's blue, one's grey.
Frau Clovis. I don't know what Duke of Manhattan's dying from, but it seems to be...
He's got retrograde... No, he hasn't. Is it retrograde? No, it isn't.
Dystronic toxemia. We'll just say that.
He's got permanent rigidity.
What
Too much Viagra.
Ow. Hang him upside down, for God's sake. So despite
Petrifold regression?
Petrifold regression.
Yeah,
there's a few flim-flam, biddly-boodly lines about what people have got in there.
Russell's very good at the names of just bollocks.
Yeah. He is. He absolutely is. Sisters of Plentitude. Because all of it still rings, all of it still sticks in the mind. He's very, very good at that sort of stuff.
That's the funny thing. And maybe it's just because, when these episodes came out, we were younger and our brains just absorbed this shit more.
Yes.
But like all those things, I mean, I had forgotten that they were called the Sisters of Plentitude, but a lot of that stuff still retains in my memory. I can remember any old shit from the 1970s and the 1960s. But this stuff still stays in my head as well. But as soon as you start getting into Series 6, I don't know if it's just like the teenage synapses just give up. Just like I'm not taking anything else in, especially to do with this program.
It's a different sort of it's less about world building, isn't it, at that stage, and it's more about just sort of saying stuff. To me, I mean, that might not ring totally true, but it's less about sort of painting this wide canvas with all these different funny colors and different funny names and dots and Greek symbols and all of that. Where I think Chris Chibnall was probably better at it than Stephen Moffat in terms of stuff that sticks in your head, because he was all into the Apple/Delta sort of stuff, wasn't he?
Yeah, he did, and he did a bit of that.
All of that.
But I'd give it up caring by that point.
So I've got here, despite the prosthetics muffling her performance, you can tell right away Sister Jat is Martha Jones's mum.
Yes, yeah.
They
look great.
The makeup is so good.
We come a long way from Cheetah People.
We have come a long way, but it's like John Freelander-esque in the like, see the eyes, see the mouth, and really, besides the fur on the face, the only major prosthetic bit and the fangs is the kind of big puffy bit above the lips. But there's a few people speaking in it who I can sort of tell are sort of struggling to, particularly plosives, kind of get a bit, worn down by having this big bit on the top of the lip. But they look great, and I think they're quite good villains. I wish they were a bit more cat-like,
Yes.
You saw one of them grooming in the corner or something.
Yeah, I was thinking
surgery,
that, like,
instead of having their hands under the tap, they were giving themselves...
licking between their legs. Having to freshen up was right. No, the bit when they're climbing up the ladder, I'm like, you're a cat, you should be fucking pouncing up there. Really? True. But, hey,
maybe they've taken a vow of uncoolness, like the cat or something, and they're all whatever. So back in the basement, Rose follows Chip into this grotty little room, and there's a film reel with the Zoe Wanamaker as Cassandra. Who I understand they didn't have for very long, and there was a possibility they weren't going to get her at all because she was filming something else.
My Family? Harry Potter?
No, it was a drama, I think, on the BBC from what I read. It wasn't Play Your Cards Right, but it was something. It was called something like that. But there was a possibility they were going to have to introduce, which is so soap opera. They were going to have to introduce Cassandra's identical twin sister, who's had the same procedure.
Oh my God!
Who's going to be played by somebody else.
Oh no!
But thank God they got her back, because she's barely in it, really. She's in the first sort of 10 minutes and then the last 30 seconds.
That is my one critique with this story. I mean, everyone's very good at playing Cassandra, but it is a shame that she's not in it more as Cassandra, because she's so good, and she's so good in End of the World. It's actually one of the stories that Annie showed her Doctor Who club at school.
Great.
And they loved it because they love Cassandra. Apparently, as soon as she appeared on screen, they all cheered because they just love her. And I love that fact. I mean, it was earlier on when they're watching the Doctor and Rose, and you've got that orb thing, and they're being projected in the orb. That feels so classic Doctor Who. That is such an old school Doctor Who effect. It was like, here we got this glass bloody vase thing, and we'll just shine a light through it and overlay the image. That'll do it. And we'll fisheye lens over it. Yeah.
Put a red tint on it and a fisheye lens, and it's Earthshock.
Yeah. Yes, yeah.
So Flappy Cassandra, she's got her force-grown clone / and it's implied, I'm not saying this for comic effect, sex slave Chip.
Yes, yeah.
Who moisturizes her. Yeah. There's a joke about... There's a joke about the fact that she's using her back skin. Yeah. So there's 2 cut off swear words in this. There's you're talking out of your arse.
Yeah.
And there's a bitch line as well somewhere in there.
Obviously, the infamous toy comes from this episode as well.
Destroyed Cassandra.
Destroyed
Brilliant.
Cassandra. Insane.
Fantastic.
Absolutely demented.
The CG hasn't moved on much in a year. I mean, it's probably the same asset, I would imagine.
Yeah.
But I did notice she's got a beauty spot, which I hadn't noticed before.
Yeah, she's always got the beauty spot, I think. Even End of the World, because I think that's so you want to make her has got one. And I think they took that from her,
Clever. So it here begins the romp, the farcical element of it. So we've got the body swap bit.
Which is such a sci-fi trope. It's kind of surprising that Doctor Who has never really done it before.
True. Yeah, absolutely. And it's kind of an excuse, for Billy to use her natural accent, which, if we're being honest here, isn't an actual accent because she's from Swindon, so she should sound a bit more like us. Yeah. But she's gone through the teen star mill and been told you can't sound like that. Yeah,
RP it a bit.
She's RP'd it up. Yeah. Which is funny because when she starts talking like Rose later on, it's a bit like God, you are putting that on, So used to her speaking in her natural accent now. It rolls off the tongue very naturally for her, but now that we've got 20 years worth of interviews with her,
that's true.
You're like, oh yeah, you are putting that on. Starts fondling herself. I like to think we've moved on in Modern Who from what it was like back in the day, but if any Modern Who episode could be classed as for the dads, it's this one.
It's this one, oh yes. Yeah.
Which is not bad necessarily. Billy's very good at the comedy stuff. RTD said he wrote this specifically to allow her to flex her comedy muscles. Yeah.
I'm a chav, great line.
I'm a chav. That was very good.
Do chav still exist? Is that still a used term? Chav?
I don't.
That feels very of the time.
It is. I don't think it's used anymore. I think it's a protected term now, probably.
Have the chavs have they taken it on for themselves?
I think it was always worn as a bit of a badge of honour, wasn't it? Because there was a uniform. There was the kind of tartan cap,
the Burberry cap.
Yeah.
It's just Vicky Pollard, isn't it? We watched Little Britain the other night because it was on.
Oh God, how badly is that aged?
I mean, me and Johnny laughed our heads off, but Annie was just like, "This is what is this?" But it's the one where Vicky Pollard does a wee in the swimming baths.
That is funny. That is good.
Funny. Yeah. Anne, remember that?
Oh no.
And now Johnny's doing it all the bloody time. I was coming back with the dog yesterday and he did it out the front window from really shitty pants. And he's got the kids doing it. He's told the kids about it. And now the bloody fucking 13 and a 10-year-old going around Bristol going,
Don't give David Walliams too much credit because that's going to come back and bite us on the arse soon. That's bad news.
It's bad news.
So Novice Haim tells the Doctor that legend says the face of Bo will impart some important message to a wanderer, to a man without a home. And it was at that point I was like, I had this on DVD. In fact, I might have won it in the Companion Academy. They gave you like a goodie bag for the Doctor Who stuff. I might have been in there. And I wasn't doing like a hot fuzz, I can quote this word for word, but so much of it, even just the little lines of dialogue were just flooding back to me. I was like, oh my God, I must have watched this 20 times when I was like 10. It just has lodged in there. So there's all that stuff. And also like sound bites, like you'd hear in future episodes or in birthday cards and shit.
Yeah, or like from the trailers, there are little bits that you're like, oh yeah, God, I remember this trailer so clearly because, it was back in the day when you'd be like, oh, I've just taped it, so I'm going to rewind the tape just to see the next time trailer because I'm so excited to see what next week's is like, especially when you sort of knew from like looking at either the internet or like Doctor Who magazine, you had a sort of inkling of like, oh, okay, this story's that, this is going to be the Cyberman story. So
because you'd
really
get the episode guide that he'd write up either in DWM or Radio Times.
Yeah, or like you'd see a title like The Satan Pit and you think, oh, fuck me, that's going to be a scary one. That's going to be good. And, you'd watch the trailer because it was spooky and you'd think, oh, okay, this is a different type of episode. Yeah, great days.
Great days. Billy Piper's boyfriend at the time broke the face of Bo, which caused delays in filming. That's a little bit of trivia there for you. I don't know what he did to it.
I was going to say.
He kicked the shit out of it. I don't know. Are you talking to my bird?
It wasn't Lawrence Fox, was it?
Oh, no, it wasn't. No, it was.
Who said you big-headed people could come into our country?
I think he was. It was during her trial separation from Chris Evans.
Ah, right.
So it's a bloke she was with at the time.
Was this lad drunk? Did he think the face of Bo was David Tennant? He was like, stop shagging my bird seats.
I know what's going on.
Just because I've not got a David Tennant.
She keeps telling me. The Duke of Manhattan is somehow cured miraculously from his osteoporosis or whatever it's called. And Cassandra Rose turns up and absolutely
I thought that was
wears
like a cereal then. Cassandra O's. I was like, what?
Cassandra O's. Yum. Another bit of that.
Why didn't they do that? We had hula hoops, we had Froobs, but we never had Cassandra O's.
We never had Cassandra O's.
Eat Cassandra's asshole.
No. Don't ask what the circular Cheerio-looking ones are. So she pops up and absolutely wears the face off the Doctor. Great for the trailer.
Yeah.
Great bit of comedy.
Yeah. Great for David Tennant.
Great for David Tennant. I mean, not that he was short of it. But does it not feel a bit like a waste that this is their first kiss? And ignoring the slightly iffy optics of Cassandra forcing a body that isn't hers to kiss someone else. Not that she wouldn't have at some point, but what do you think?
Yeah, that's true. I mean, I hadn't really thought of that side of things, like the consent sort of side of things, because I think we would just take that on the comedic face value. But yeah, that is true. I wonder how that would wash these days, because I think now,
well, actually, something we were talking about before we were recording. It is exactly this thing is addressed. In a film we were talking about, that body swap consent thing is Spider-Man.
Okay, right, okay.
I'm trying not to spoil it, but they do address it, and it is in a very that's a very mod. I can hear
woke
neckbeards moaning about it, but it's addressed very maturely, I thought, and I mean, I suppose you do need to talk about that, so there's an example of that being addressed. Not that you've seen it yet, but I'm
totally unaware of the context of this conversation.
Good. Keep it that way because it's a bit of a spoiler. So 2 bits of look, it's still old Doctor Who with stock footage reuse of the lift.
Yeah, I cheered. I forgot it was in this story.
Cheered. And that would have got a pop. If it was screened at the BFI, that would have got a cheer.
It would have done. Yeah. That's what it's going to be like, isn't it? In like another 10 years, all us young people who will then be fat old people will be all sat there with our bloody Cassandra t-shirts on that are
like bumhole t-shirts.
Yeah, and her eyes are like sat on your bloody man boob nipples. And we'll all be cheering when the lift goes down.
It's going to be like going to see Rocky Horror, isn't it? People just leaping around out of their seats. And also location reuse.
Yes, the Nestine base.
Which is just like, this was only on a year ago, and I swear to God, the framing is identical. And it's that same red door. Or what, I can't remember if the TARDIS is covering it in that scene or not, but it's the same setup. It is kind of like,
there must have been something underneath that railing that was unshootable for some reason. It must have just made it look shit.
Yeah. Right.
So they were just like, well, we have to shoot up this way because as soon as you pan down here, maybe that stairwell didn't go very far. Maybe it was literally down to the ground and that was it.
I think you're right. And talking of stairwells, there's a couple of shots where the Doctor, Rose and Chip are running up and down the same bit of stairs. And they do the shot coming in from right to left. I think they do it twice. And then the third time they do it, they flip it. I didn't actually check to see if they'd tried to swipe hair in the right direction or not. But I think they definitely flipped the shot in one of them. So we've got this inner sanctum in the hospital. Thousands of pods containing all of these plague victims. It's a gnarly bit of makeup design. But I do think they do a good job of striking a balance between scary and sympathetic.
Yeah, because I remember in the one of Justin Richards' Doctor Who, those fantastic books that we got when the series came out, and it looked at all the different versions of the makeup, and there was some really quite gross stuff with like faces really distorted, which, considering that they have every disease known to man, they would be pretty effed up looking.
Where's the leper one?
Yeah, where's the one with his fucking syphilis nose hanging off, and, jaw falling off? So they strike a tea time balance, don't they? Really, because I think they're gross enough for kids to go, ugh, they got boils and stuff.
Yeah,
but not enough to be like, oh my god, I'm going to vomit up my beans on toast because that man's eyeballs hanging out of his face. It's
a bit contrived, the zombie element of it. I mean, it's like.
I'd forgotten how zombie it is, because Doctor Who's never really done zombies before, and this is like, is this the closest we've ever got to zombies in Doctor Who?
I think it is, but it's very,
a bit, they're wambly shambling down the corridors, and it's a very it's that, isn't it?
But it's
Jonathan's, well, I say friend, a guy that he was at school with was one of the zombies.
Was he?
Patients.
Did he notice him?
He did, yeah. And when we were watching it the other night, he went, there he is.
Brilliant. It's a bit contrived in that you have to stand as still as possible and as close to them as you can.
Yeah.
And even once they grab you, it takes a little while for the virus to transfer. And then there's a couple of shots where people are kind of, this looks really unnatural. But I've got to stand as still as possible so they can track the boils on my face. And,
There's one moment where it's almost like someone like deliberately walks into the hand rather than them coming towards them. Some of that stuff with the extras is a little bit janky.
There's one guy when we have the Everybody Lives Rose bit at the end, when the Doctor's going around and going, it's a new subspecies, and there's a guy sort of giving him 1,000-yard, I've been in a nightclub all night stare. Yeah.
I said to Johnny, because there's that girl that he hugs. I was like, oh, hello, sweetheart. And he gives her a hug. I said, what they should have done is the gormless one should have then gone in for a hug, and he should have been like, oh, not you.
not you. Yeah, that's perfect.
I just do the pretty ones. Thank you. All right.
I just do the pretty ones, as you can see. First use of I'm sorry, I'm so sorry from the 10th Doctor.
It won't be the last.
Get ready for that. Cassandra Rose reveals herself the Doctor, saying that she knew something fishy was going on in the hospital, but she needed the Doctor to snoop around for her to find it out. She locks the Doctor in a pod, which is about to flood him with all the diseases, and then she tries to extort the sisters for a big one-off payment to stay quiet about what's going on there. And then her plan B, again, she's not very good at this plan A, plan B thing. Her plan B is then, I'll just release them all anyway, therefore scuppering any chance of a payday.
Yeah.
Because people will find out about it.
Yeah. How's that going to help you?
Really daft.
Really daft. I do like, the little tells with Billie Piper as Cassandra, she has no empathy and all this sort of stuff, and she's like disgusted by it, or, it's just those little telltale signs, it's obvious, but for kids, that's enough for them to be like, oh no, she's not Rose, she's bad.
There was a line that was cut, which I read about, that was when they celebrate the Duke of Manhattan not being ill anymore, there's champagne handed around, and she grabs a glass and says, oh, moisturize me, which would have been far too on the nose that early on. I mean, the lack of empathy she displays is perfect, because it builds Rose's character really well. It's like, no, she's a great person. She wouldn't feel this way about this situation, without being too on the nose, which is pretty nice. Doesn't feel like the tone has shifted all that much in that. I mean, the music's still daft and everybody's still camping up their performances, but you're kind of cutting between Romero body horror and this kind of farce. And it's weird how well it actually works. It doesn't feel too separated from the other.
No, it does gel together really well. One thing we didn't mention was when the Doctor confronts the sisters, he's very good in that scene.
Yes,
when
very
he's
angry.
got that, he's very angry.
Yeah,
he does it like you said. He does those bits well. If he's arsing about or being angry, he's a good one.
He nails it.
Or snogging.
I'm hopping mad and I want something in the middle with David Tennant. That's the only thing.
Yeah.
Lots of corridors and stairs for Billie Piper to bounce up and down.
There's one bit she's laughing. She's laughing. Johnny spotted it. And they're running. Yeah, they're running along and they run down the steps and she's at the front and I think David's at the back. And there might be a nun in between them or chips in between them.
Yeah.
And she is clearly laughing. So I don't know what she's laughing at, but probably just the whole thing. Look at me running around.
I would hope so.
With all this freaking madness going on.
On the tone, did you know Netflix UK customers who rented this episode back when they were a disc rental company were rather shocked to discover that a different film had been spliced onto the disc. And instead of New Earth, people were watching one of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre reboots.
Incredible.
Which is brilliant.
When's Doctor Who going to turn up, Mum? I don't know. Where's that man wearing another man's face?
Yeah, he might turn up after this guy's been disemboweled to try and put everything back to normal. So the flesh are wandering around the hospital. It's turned into Carry On Night of the Living Dead. And to add to the farce, Cassandra jumps into Ten's bodies. David's very good at it, but it's a bit twin dilemma having this new incarnation turn into a coward right as you're trying to introduce him to a new audience. Yeah,
I guess you've had the Christmas special where he's already, mercilessly killed a man with a sex humor. So maybe they thought, we better show that he's in touch with his feminine side as well.
True. And he's very good at it. I do like, it's that thing, I think if we saw it now, we'd go, this show is cursed.
Yeah, we probably would.
I couldn't help but sort of smirk at I'm beating out a Samba and crack a smile at a few of those lines. I think because David's doing it so well, and some of his I'm a bit disgusted by all of this is really good.
Yeah, he's got a good disgusted face. That's true.
Cassandra says there's bits of his body that haven't been used, suggesting that the Doctor and Rose haven't done it yet. And I say done it because of that fake out pregnancy that terrifies the Doctor in Doomsday. So that obviously happens at some point after this episode.
Yeah. They consummated something.
It certainly did. We've got all the body hopping in the lift shaft between the Doctor and Rose. There's plague patients. Yeah, that bit's quite funny.
That is funny. That patient is very good. She does it very well. Yeah.
And hopefully got her own Battles in Time card, which she was handsomely remunerated for.
Almost certainly. She's probably got another one out now because they're making a comeback.
Do you remember what they were called? Because I think the cats call them the Flesh.
Oh,
but I can't remember what they were called on the cards.
Don't know.
Patient 1.
Yeah, probably something like that.
Yeah, it's probably something like that.
Look, Mum, I got a Patient 1 card. I'm
lovely.
So excited.
How nice is that? A Boyle man. So a nice little bit of plotting where...
man.
New.
Do you know what?
New York
I've got them here. Remember when we opened them up?
Have you still got them?
Yeah, I've got them here. I found them today while I was. I've got Sycorax Slave. Never even fucking see it on camera, but there we go. We've got Vivian Rook. Yeah, everyone's favourite undercover journalist. What child wouldn't want that in their collection? We've got Professor Lazarus, Sweaty Mark Gatiss. That's
not bad.
That's quite a good one. And then Toclafane Invasion. Exciting.
Is that shiny? Have you got a shiny in there?
No, I don't. I think that's it. No, No shinies, unfortunately. But
Gutted.
yeah. Oh well. I'll have to take all that stuff. I found them all in the attic at my mum's house. All my battles on time.
I want to know how that's doing, that new one. That new set.
I had no interest in it. There was a little when I found out that it was coming back, there was a slight twinge of and then when it was like 25 quid.
No. And also you can pick a lot of the cards up, the individual packs up, the original ones for relatively cheap if you go to the right places. So
it's like some sort of mad drug deal. If you know the right man, you know what I'm talking about. You know, if you know who to talk to. Knock twice on number 12 and ask for Shaz. And see if he's got New York business minute or not. What was the Rose Tyler one that everybody wanted?
Golden Rose.
Which
at some point in this episode has flown over our heads thanks to Dave Burgess's lovely backdrop.
Yeah.
So
we need to update it now with all the new cards.
Shit, we need the Crystal D one flying over.
Oh Christ.
So
we need master replicas to send us a copy and we'll do an unboxing.
Please do. I'll give you my address, not out on the podcast, but if you get in touch, I'll be the only person in New Zealand with a pack probably.
Yeah. Who will you trade with?
I'll just trade with myself. I'll sit in front of the cross-legged in front of the mirror and start handing stuff back and forth and play a game with myself.
As long as you don't go down the playgrounds and say, have you got any Dodgy Bars and time?
Well, because they go. What's the? I had my hair cut the other day, and the guy he span a wheel, and he gave me Yu-Gi-Oh cards for some reason.
What?
And I was like, all right, and then and I went home and I was looking. He's worth anything? No, not at all. Not at all.
I thought you were going to turn around and say, I went home and I just sat there looking at this Yu-Gi-Oh card thinking, what has happened to me? What's happened to
this all about?
The ritual of having your hair cut? Why was I given this thing?
Do I take this back and get a free hot towel or something? Like, what is this new currency now? So
he knew you were going to Japan and thought you could use that. You could spend that over there.
This will get you a free hotel if you show it to the right people.
Yeah.
So there's a nice bit of plotting here where Cassandra jumps into the plague lady, as you say, and then she suddenly gets filled with this empathy she's had, she's got a body, but what does it mean if she's not out there and experiencing anything? Is I think the
well, she's never been touched, because that's what they want, is it? They just want to be touched.
Yeah,
they just want to be touched, but no one wants to touch them because they'll die.
Exactly. Why don't you get the bloody point of this?
Yeah.
Why
can't you touch each other?
Anna, have you seen what you look like, love?
Not touching you. You're one to talk.
It's like going into Pop World on a Wednesday night. So the Doctor loads himself up with all these drip bags and abseils down the lift shaft to Cecilia Ann by the Pixies. Sorry, Westminster Bridge by Murray Gold. He dumps all the drugs into the disinfectant tank above the lift and gives all of the plague victims a jolly good bath. They start hugging each other, pass on the cure, and that's the end of the plot.
Yeah.
A bit of a poo wrap up.
It's poo. And he said if this had been a Star Trek episode, Beverly Crusher would have synthesized the concoction that the Doctor made into an airborne thing and pumped it through the air conditioning or something, and then they would have all been cured that way, which sounds a lot more sci-fi and a lot better than just. But if also, I put a few in the shower and just let them all hug it out, that'll be fine. They'll just pass it around.
It does feel like, okay, great. So we've sorted out everybody in the reception.
Yeah.
But what about the rest of the building that they're crawling around and infecting people in
the basement still? There are thousands of them.
Thousands of them. But as long as we see these 12 extras hugging, it's all okay. It's all fine.
What about the others, Doctor? Fucking incinerate them. Who gives a shit?
Whatever. I've done my bit. Everybody's seen me being a nice guy.
They'll just die. They'll just keel over and die after a while.
They haven't got much to live for, to be honest. I mean, they can't string a sentence together. They've been locked in a cabinet for the last 400 years, So the cats are all arrested. The Doctor suddenly remembers why he was there to begin with, but Bo's been cured and says his secret can wait. A big face syndrome. I mean, it must be quite a strain.
Yeah. It must be hard, isn't it? Hard work. Just
Blinking must feel like you've run a marathon with a head like that.
He remembered he was John Barrowman.
He went, I must go now. My planet needs me.
Yes.
My tour of musical numbers needs me. Bo's cured and says his secret can wait.
The press is catching up with me, Doctor. Pictures of me with my knob out first surfaced. I thought by removing my head from my body, no one would be able to connect the dots, but damn, clearly they caught me. Yeah,
I couldn't forget a head like that in both ways. And then he teleports out of there. That all feels like a bit of a waste, but apparently.
I'm sorry. I've got to interrupt you on the subject of John Barrowman. So I told you tonight that we watched Parting of the Ways and Bad Wolf with my nephews, and the bit where he loses all his clothes, John Barrowman, to the defabricator gun, and my youngest nephew went, "His penis will be hanging out," and me and
that's
Johnny
the point.
Quick as a flash were like, he's always doing that.
Let me introduce you to the concept of consent and flashing.
Yes. Yeah.
Have you seen a pint glass before? So apparently the "You Are Not Alone" line was supposed to happen here,
right.
But when Russell found out Billy was leaving at the end of the series, he shifted it to series 3.
You are alone.
You are very much alone, Doctor.
Yeah. And Shandy's from now on.
It is, well, look, if they're going to give us the rope, we're gonna make the jokes.
Exactly.
I mean, it's carry on enough in the text that it's all right that we're doing it.
Of course, yeah.
So I did like the Doctor's line when he disappears. That is enigmatic. That is textbook enigmatic. I thought that was a nice line. Chip appears and offers to give his body over to Cassandra, which makes you wonder why she didn't do that ages ago. But it turns out he's a half-life. So his body can't take the strain. And she finally relents and accepts it's time to die.
That annoys me so much. Because like seconds before, when she's still as Rose, she's like, "Oh, but I don't want to." And then she goes into Chip, and then she's like, "Oh, actually, it's fine. He's dying. Sure, why not?" What?
I mean, she was probably like, "Well, neither of you two are going to help me out, so I'm kind of stuffed. I might as well just cark it here."
Even the face of Bo buggered off.
He did, yeah. Oh my God, face of Bo Cassandra. That would have been a story. But in a final act of kindness for such a thoroughly evil, genocidal woman, the Doctor takes Chip, Cassandra, to a tacky little nightclub that turns out the person that Cassandra mentioned earlier was the last person to call her beautiful was Chip as Cassandra. Cassandra herself. Nice to see Zoe Wanamaker in the flesh as Cassandra.
In a terrible wig.
Terrible wig. Speaking of, Billy's got her hair up because she's hiding extensions that she had still in for the Christmas Invasion. So I'm presuming that because of Zoe Wanamaker's schedule, they had to shoot this first, straight out the gate after Christmas Invasion, and then the rest of it later on. Chip Cassandra collapses and dies in his/her own arms. The end. Yeah,
I like the ending. The ending is bittersweet, isn't it? Because we've had all these fun and games, but then it all just comes down to dying in your own arms.
Yeah,
and then having
the way of the world.
two strangers in the background just be like, "Well, that was that. Right, where do you want to go now, Rose?"
Yeah, right. Werewolves next week. How about that? Yeah. Who do you want to meet? Now we've met this crazy woman. So where are we with New Earth? Because you were very, I think, pleasantly surprised.
Yeah, it was, but I enjoyed it more than I thought I was going to. I think I was sort of expecting to be a bit like, oh God, but actually, maybe it's just the nostalgia. Back when I was a less jaded child, but I enjoyed it. For what it is, it's a very sort of season 24 piss about, isn't it? Really?
Yeah.
It's that sort of ilk. But everyone's good. Everyone is good. David Tennant's very good. Billy Piper's excellent. Everyone's firing on all cylinders in this one. So I think that's what helps it. There's no hesitancy in like the performances of doing some of the more silly bits. They all just run with it, because I think this is one of those instances where you get told, so you have to pretend to be Zoe Wanamaker for a bit. In a lesser actor who's like, oh god, I'm gonna look like a complete tit. It could have looked bad, but the fact that they all just go real with gusto into it, it works. It's good fun. It's right.
If you ever wanted to see Carry On Doctor Who, we got it. We got it, folks. I mean, that must have been floated, surely.
What, Carry On?
Back in the day.
Carry On Doctor Who.
I reckon. I mean, they've got John Pertwee basically on the end of a phone line, so, you never know.
There we go. Yeah.
You never know. Okay,
and,
so...
what's his name? Butterworth?
Butterworth and
Peter Butterworth.
Roy Castle. He's in a couple, I think.
He's in a couple.
And Bernard Cribbins.
Bernard Bresslaw as well.
Bernard Bresslaw, Bernie, yeah. Oh, God, blimey. I was watching a Carry On the other day. Oh, my... It's... There's a... they're kind of ageless, even though they have aged terribly in every possible, social respect. But they're, people. There's been lots of attempts to try and bring it back, but you can't. You can't.
Can't
in terms of what those films are anyway. But they just exist as they are, and it's okay that they're in this little bubble. And obviously, there's some really questionable stuff in there, but there's a sort of safety to it, and there's a coziness to it. Yeah, and I'll defend those films to the hilt, but some of it is indefensible. Yeah,
so they're sort of harmless. I mean,
it's a seaside postcard.
Yeah, it's just a bit like shouldn't say that,
tits.
But it's that.
But you can't say tits.
You can't say tits. Yeah,
so you say Bristols or something.
Yeah. You're Norks.
Marvelous. You're Norks. Billy's Norks. Right.
Billy's Norks.
Genius Guilty Pleasure. This is from Kieran Robert Cooper. Love RTD's New Earth trilogy. Of course, this is the second of that.
Yes, of course.
Little loose trilogy. Probably the weakest of the three, but it's eye-catching, camp, and often a little grim. But don't get me started on that resolution. Then again, it at least might help spread the message to fans on the importance of having a wash. Lewis Palmer, there's an energy to it that keeps it fun, but I felt a bit embarrassed watching it as a kid. I can return to it easily, but it's the first revival story that's a bit questionable. Not a total dud by any means, but always been one of the oddest openers for a series. Who Photography, this was my very first introduction to Doctor Who on broadcast at 7 years old. Say what you will about the story, but it was mad enough to hook me in for life. It's daft, extremely camp, and probably wasn't the best choice for Tennant's first proper story, but the overall concept of a squeaky clean hospital secretly experimenting on its patients for the greater good is a cracking idea. They don't really crack into that much more, do they? That would have been a bit more interesting, because the cat nuns have got their reasons for it, but we don't really see a justification besides the people being cured. It would have been nice to have a bit more, what are they getting out of it?
Yeah, that's true. Billy Piper's arse in those trousers, that would have been enough to have hooked me as a child, I tell you what.
It's enough to hook me now. The ending scene with Cassandra dying in her own arms still gets a blub out of me 20 years later, aided by some of Murray Gold's best music. Agreed. Very much propped up in my estimation, simply for being the first story that I saw, but I love it all the same. Let's have a look. A. Bradley Stocks, definitely one of the weakest season openers Doctor Who's ever had for me. Messy, unfocused, and indulgent, with the comedy all written a bit too broad for its own good, and scenery-chewing performances all round. The hand-wavy pseudoscience nature of the ending felt daft even back in 2006, and was definitely a bit of an early glimpse into RTD's worst indulgence as a writer. Even as a kid, this one felt disappointing for me. The CGI looked pretty good, though, mostly. Agreed. Joe Dobson, for me, the gimmick is funny enough, and Cassandra is a classic from this era, but I'm not convinced by the cocktail of cures being contagious in the same way as the virus. A bit of an odd choice to start David Tennant's first series with a story featuring a chunk less of him as the Doctor. Then again, could I be splitting hairs? We got Cassandra Lasagne out of it, which is true. And last one, Sir D. Gent. When I was at primary school, me and my friends acted out Cassandra transporting into each of our faces. All round, a really fun story. and all acting is on top and fantastic. David is great fun. However, for me, it's Billie Piper that stakes the show by playing two characters. Such an amazing piece of acting from her. She is the star of this episode.
Absolutely.
Agreed.
Yeah, she's so good. She does it so well, just playing off the two different versions of herself. Very, very good. Yeah.
And not to sound like rude or anything, but who knew she'd be that good at comedy? I mean, it's broad, but she does do a really good job with what she's given, I think.
Yeah, she's great. She's really, really good. Yeah. Oh, well, yeah. I think the thing is with this one, it was a nice little kick of nostalgia. Which a lot of our nostalgia lately has been about, wasn't it bad when it all came to an end? But it was nice to be reminded of the second golden age of Doctor Who.
Quite. And that kind of, I guess, ends the little mini arc of death and life that we've been doing. So next week on Patreon, we are going to be talking about something that does spell death to a degree, depending on how bad it is. I imagine it's pretty bad. We're going to do Cyberon, the BBV commentary. That's been a while in the making. I finally got a copy of it. So that's exciting. That'll be a laugh. And then after that, Matt, talking about Golden Ages, we're doing The Time Warrior.
Yes. Oh, great. Such a good story. One of my favourites. I am very much looking forward to that. First Sarah Jane Smith story, first Sontaran story. Oh, a lot of firsts in that one.
Absolutely.
Very good.
So lots to look forward to.
Lots to look forward to. So thank you for watching, everybody. And we'll see you all next time. Ciao for now.
Bye.
Bye-bye.